One evening, my parents gave my sister a luxury vacation to the Maldives, and they gave me a dusty key to my grandmother's attic. Everyone laughed. 6 months later, that attic made me a millionaire. Before I tell you how that happened, welcome to our channel. This is where we share real, emotional, powerful stories about family, betrayal, underdogs, and life-changing glow-ups. If you believe the quiet ones often win in the end, make sure you subscribe and join our community. And tell me in the comments, where are you watching this story from right now? Because tonight's story begins in Atlanta, Georgia, and it changed my life forever. In the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, where the humid summers clung to your skin like an unwelcome hug, and the skyline mixed old Southern charm with gleaming modern towers, lived the Harrington family. They weren't rich by Buckhead standards, but they were comfortable. Dad owned a small accounting firm, Mom ran a boutique event planning business, and their 2 daughters, Elena and Sophia, were the apples of their eyes. Or at least that's how it seemed on the surface. Elena Harrington was 25, the older sister by 2 years, with a practical streak that had been honed by years of being the responsible one. She worked as a graphic designer for a mid-sized marketing firm downtown, scraping by on freelance gigs to pay off her student loans from Georgia State University. Elena had always been the fixer, the one who organized family vacations, mediated arguments, and quietly shouldered the burdens no one else wanted. Her dark curls were often tied back in a no-nonsense ponytail, and her wardrobe consisted of thrift store finds that she upcycled into something trendy. Sophia, on the other hand, was the golden child. At 23, she was pursuing a master's in fashion design at Savannah College of Art and Design, funded entirely by their parents. With her blonde highlights, Instagram-perfect selfies, and a circle of influencer friends, Sophia embodied the effortless glamour that Elena had always envied but never resented, until that fateful Christmas Eve. The family gathered in their cozy craftsman home in Midtown, the air thick with the scent of pine from the tree and cinnamon from Mom's famous rolls. Dad, Harold, cleared his throat after dessert, his glasses perched on the end of his nose like a professor about to deliver a lecture. "Girls, your mother and I have been thinking a lot about your futures. We want to give you both a leg up in this crazy world." Mom, Vivian, beamed as she handed Sophia a sleek envelope. "For you, sweetie, a luxury vacation package to the Maldives. 2 weeks at a 5-star resort, all inclusive. You deserve a break after all that hard work on your thesis." Sophia's eyes lit up like the Christmas lights strung across the mantel. "Oh my God, Mom, Dad, this is amazing. I can already picture the photos, sunsets, infinity pools, the works." She hugged them tightly, her excitement bubbling over. Elena smiled politely, her heart sinking just a fraction. She knew better to expect equality. It had always been this way. Sophia got the new iPhone for her birthday. Elena got a refurbished one. Sophia's college tuition was paid in full. Elena worked part-time jobs through hers. But still, she hoped. Then Mom turned to Elena, holding out a dusty old key ring with a single tarnished key. "And for you, Elena, something with a bit more character. We've cleared out Grandma's attic in the old house up in Decatur. There's a box of antiques up there, furniture, jewelry, knickknacks. We thought you'd appreciate the history, being the creative one." Elena's smile faltered. The old house was their late Grandma Rose's Victorian-era home, abandoned since her passing 5 years ago. It was a treasure trove of dust bunnies and forgotten memories, not a gift. "Thanks, Mom, Dad. That's thoughtful." Sophia giggled. "Better you than me, sis. I'd sneeze my head off in that attic. Enjoy your treasure hunt." That night, as Elena drove home to her cramped apartment in Little 5 Points, the key felt heavy in her pocket. A luxury vacation versus a box of junk? It stung, but Elena pushed it down. She was the practical one, after all. Maybe there was something sellable in there, enough to cover next month's rent. The next morning, she pulled up to the creaky old house on a quiet street lined with magnolia trees. The attic was a labyrinth of cobwebs and cardboard boxes, the air musty with the scent of aged wood and mothballs. She spent hours sorting through it, faded photographs of Grandma Rose in her youth, chipped porcelain dolls, a rusty sewing machine, and piles of costume jewelry tangled like forgotten dreams. At the bottom of one box, buried under yellowed newspapers from the 1950s, she found it, a small wooden chest, intricately carved with floral patterns. Inside were assorted items, a tarnished silver locket, a bundle of old letters tied with ribbon, a few vintage brooches, and what looked like a dusty old vase wrapped in cloth. Nothing screamed valuable, but Elena's designer's eye saw potential. She could clean them up, photograph them nicely, and list them on Etsy or eBay. Little did she know that dusty attic gift was about to unravel family secrets, ignite a sibling rivalry that would make headlines, and launch her into a world of wealth she never imagined. Weeks turned into months as Elena balanced her day job with her new side hustle. She set up a small workspace in her apartment, investing in basic cleaning supplies and a good camera. The first items she listed, the porcelain dolls and sewing machine, sold quickly to collectors, netting her a couple $100. Encouraged, she dove deeper. One rainy afternoon, while polishing the silver locket, she noticed an engraving on the back. To Rose, with eternal love, 1925. Grandma Rose had been born in 1910, so this was from her youth. Opening it, she found a tiny photograph of a young woman, Rose perhaps, standing beside a dapper man in a suit, both smiling in front of what looked like a grand estate. Curiosity piqued. She unwrapped the vase next. It was porcelain, hand-painted with delicate blue flowers, about 12 inches tall. A quick Google on vintage blue flower vase yielded nothing special, but something about the base caught her eye, a faint mark that looked like a manufacturer's stamp. She snapped a photo and posted it on a Reddit forum for antiques enthusiasts, r/antiques. The responses flooded in. "That looks like Meissen porcelain," one user commented. "Check for the crossed swords." Elena flipped it over. Sure enough, 2 blue crossed swords. Her heart raced. Meissen was a famous German porcelain maker from the 18th century. If authentic, this could be worth thousands. She took it to a local appraiser in Pond City Market, a hip spot full of artisanal shops. The expert, an elderly man named Mr. Hargrove, examined it under a magnifying glass. "Young lady, this isn't just any vase. It's a rare 19th century Meissen piece, likely from the Marcolini period. In this condition, easily $5,000 at auction." Elena's jaw dropped. $5,000? That was more than her monthly salary. But Mr. Hargrove wasn't done. And that locket? Let's see. Ah, yes, this is sterling silver hallmarked 1925, but the real value is in the provenance. If those letters tie back to a notable figure, it could be part of a collection. The letters. Elena had skimmed them, love notes from a man named Edward to Rose, filled with poetic declarations and references to our hidden treasures. One mentioned the family heirlooms buried in the attic, safe from prying eyes. Back home, Elena spread everything out. The brooches were Art Deco, potentially valuable, but the letters hinted at more. Edward wrote about the collection we started together, porcelains, jewels, artifacts from our travels. Grandma Rose had been a traveler? Family lore said she was a simple school teacher, but these suggested otherwise. Elena decided to dig deeper. She visited the Georgia Archives downtown, poring over old records. Rose Harrington, née Whitaker, had married Grandpa in 1935, but before that, she found newspaper clippings. Rose had been engaged to Edward Langley, a wealthy importer from New York who dealt in European antiques. He died mysteriously in 1930, leaving Rose heartbroken. The engagement ended and she moved to Georgia, marrying Grandpa later. The hidden treasures were likely Edward's gifts, smuggled or collected during Prohibition-era travels. Elena's mind raced. What if the attic holds more? Her parents had only given her one box, but the key was to the whole house. Wait, the gift was the attic contents, but the house was still family property, right? A call to Mom confirmed. "Oh, honey, the house is just sitting there. We were going to sell it, but if you want to poke around more, go ahead. It's all junk anyway." Junk? Elena smiled. This junk was her ticket out. She quit her freelance gigs and focused on cataloging. The vase sold for $6,200 on an online auction. With the money, she rented a small storage unit and bought display cases. Her Etsy shop, Rose's Relics, launched with the locket and brooches, marketed as pieces of forgotten romance from 1920s Georgia. Sales trickled in, then surged when a local influencer in Atlanta shared a post. "Obsessed with this vintage locket from Rose's Relics. Feels like wearing history." Followers poured in, 10K in a month. But Sophia? She was posting Maldives pics, turquoise waters, overwater bungalows, captions like "living my best life thanks to the best parents ever," #blessed, #family goals. Elena liked the posts, but inside, a fire kindled. Why did Sophia get the easy path while she scavenged? Still, she pushed on, unaware that this was just the beginning of her empire and the end of family harmony. As spring bloomed in Atlanta, so did Elena's business. With the initial sales, she invested in marketing, Facebook ads targeted at vintage lovers in the Southeast, SEO optimized listings with keywords like 1920s Art Deco jewelry Georgia and antique porcelain vases for sale USA. She returned to the attic, uncovering more: a set of Limoges china, Edwardian silverware, even a small oil painting signed by an obscure artist that appraised at $2,000. Each piece told a story, which Elena wove into her product descriptions. This locket held the secrets of a lost love. Now it can hold yours. Rose's Relics went viral locally when a feature in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution highlighted "Young entrepreneur turns family heirlooms into thriving online store." The article quoted Elena, "It started as a gift I didn't want, but it's become my passion." Orders flooded in from across the USA. New York collectors, California decorators, Texas ranch owners seeking rustic charm. Elena hired a part-time assistant, her college friend Mia, to handle shipping. They expanded to pop-up shops at the Sweet Auburn Curb Market, where Elena's storytelling drew crowds. But success bred envy. Sophia, back from her vacation, tanned and rested, visited Elena's apartment turned warehouse. "Wow, sis, this is cute. All this old stuff? I mean, the Maldives was life-changing. Met this guy, a photographer. We're talking about collaborating on my fashion line." Elena nodded, hiding her irritation. "That's great, Soph. I'm happy for you." Mom called weekly, gushing over Sophia's plans but dismissing Elena's. "Oh, that's nice, dear, but Sophia's designing a whole collection inspired by the islands. Isn't that exciting?" Dad was more pragmatic. "Make sure you're declaring all that income, Elena. Taxes on antiques can be tricky." No praise, just caution. It fueled Elena further. She leased a small storefront in Virginia Highland, a trendy neighborhood, transforming it into a boutique with velvet displays and ambient jazz music. The grand opening drew influencers, and sales hit 50K in the first month. Then came the big discovery. While sorting the last box, Elena found a hidden compartment in the wooden chest, a false bottom revealing a velvet pouch. Inside, a diamond brooch, sparkling even under dust. Appraisal? $25,000. Edward's final gift to Rose, mentioned in the letters as the star of our collection. With that sale, Elena paid off her loans and invested in inventory, sourcing similar antiques from estate sales across Georgia and beyond. Rose's Relics became a brand, website, blog with stories of forgotten treasures, even a TikTok series called #AtticGlowUp, where she filmed restorations with empowering narration. From undervalued to unstoppable, watch this dusty gem shine. The videos exploded, millions of views. Comments like, "This is me with my family's hand-me-downs," and sibling favoritism vibes, rooting for the underdog. USA audiences ate it up, sharing their own stories of turning scraps into success. Sophia noticed. Her texts turned smide. "Congrats on the shop. Must be nice profiting off grandma's stuff. Parents say hi." The rivalry simmered, but Elena thrived. Her net worth climbed to 6 figures, and she bought a condo in Midtown, modern with a view of the city lights. For the first time, she felt equal. But family secrets have a way of resurfacing, and the real betrayal was just around the corner. It started with a phone call from Mom. "Elena, we're so proud of what you've done with Grandma's things, but we've been thinking, the house in Decatur, it's family property, and Sophia's fashion line needs startup capital. Maybe we could sell some of those antiques together?" Elena paused, phone to her ear as she arranged displays in the shop. "Mom, the antiques were my gift. I've built a business around them." Vivian sighed. "Don't be selfish, dear. Sophia's dream is big. She wants to launch at Atlanta Fashion Week. Your little shop is cute, but family comes first." "Little shop? It was grossing $10K a month now." Elena hung up, fuming. Then Sophia showed up unannounced, her designer bag slung over her shoulder. "Hey sis, parents told me about your finds. That diamond brooch, I could use it as inspiration for my collection. Or, borrow it for photos." Elena crossed her arms. "Borrow, Soph? This is my inventory." Sophia's eyes narrowed. "Come on, Elena, you got all that for free. I got a vacation. Fun, but gone now. You have assets. Share the wealth." The argument escalated. Sophia accused Elena of hoarding family history. Elena countered with years of favoritism. "You got everything handed to you. I turned nothing into something." Sophia stormed out, but not before snapping photos of the shop. Days later, Elena's TikTok blew up for the wrong reasons. Sophia posted a video. "When your sister turns family heirlooms into profit without sharing. #sibling drama, #family betrayal." Comments poured in. "That's shady. Share with sis." But Elena's fans defended. "She earned it. #glowupqueen." The family meeting was inevitable. At the parents' house, Dad mediated. "Girls, let's talk. Elena, your business is impressive, but the attic was part of the house we own. Technically, those items are ours." Elena's blood boiled. "You gave them to me. The key, the box. It was my gift." Vivian teared up. "We didn't know they'd be worth so much. Sophia needs help. We're thinking of reclaiming some pieces." "Reclaiming?" Elena pulled out receipts, appraisals, business licenses. "Legally, they're mine. I own the business." The room tensed. Sophia burst into tears. "It's not fair. You always play the victim, but look at you now, successful while I'm struggling." Dad sighed. "Elena, family means sacrifice. Give Sophia a cut or we'll have to involve lawyers." The threat hung heavy. Elena left, heartbroken but resolved. She consulted a lawyer the next day. Everything was airtight. The gift was hers, no strings. But the drama went viral. Sophia's post hit Reddit's "Am I the Asshole?" twisted to make Elena the villain. Am I the asshole for wanting my share of family antiques my sister hogged? The internet divided. Half sided with Sophia, family first, half sided with Elena. She built it, her empire. Elena responded with her own video, "The Truth Behind the Gift, From Undervalued to Empire, #real story, #sibling rivalry glow up." Views skyrocketed, 10 million. Media outlets picked it up. BuzzFeed's "Sister Turns Attic Junk into Gold Sparks Family Feud." Forbes' "Bootstrap Vintage Empire, A Lesson in Underdog Entrepreneurship." Sales surged. Rose's Relics expanded to online courses, how to appraise and flip antiques. Elena became a speaker at women's empowerment events in Atlanta, sharing her story. Being underestimated was my superpower. Sophia? Her fashion line flopped without the inspiration. Parents apologized vaguely, but the rift lingered. Months later, Elena uncovered the final secret. In the letters, Edward mentioned the map to our greatest treasure, hidden in the house's foundation. Digging in the Decatur basement, with permission, now that tensions eased, she found a sealed box, rare coins, jewels, documents proving Edward was a silent partner in a Prohibition-era import business. Value? Over $500,000. She sold select pieces, donated to charity, and invested the rest. Rose's relics became national, franchises in New York, LA, Chicago. As for the family, reconciliation came slowly. Sophia joined as a designer, learning humility. Parents admitted favoritism, but Elena's journey wasn't over. Whispers of Edward's lost collection led to rumors of more hidden across the USA. If they had given me the Maldives, I would have taken pictures, posted sunsets, and come home the same invisible daughter. Instead, they handed me a key, and I unlocked my own future. If this story resonated with you, if you've ever felt overlooked, underestimated, or second choice, make sure you're subscribed, because this channel is for the underdogs. And before you go, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? Because sometimes the quietest stories travel the farthest, and maybe yours is next.